welcome to my kitchen. I'm Akshata and you are watching Akshata's Recipes. The theme of my channel is to keep it simple, quick, yet delicious. So like all my other recipes, today's recipe too is going to be very simple to make, few ingredients, and the end result is going to be really delicious where you're going to want to make it again and again. So let's get started with today's recipe. So friends, let's see how to prepare this super simple yet delicious ambe dal. So here I've taken about 2 cups of ambe dal, of chana dal. Now this recipe is enough for 5 people. I've washed the dal well and I've soaked it for about 5 to 6 hours in some water. Now after 5 to 6 hours, you will see that the dal has swelled up like this. Now we're going to drain all the water from the dal. Here I have about half a cup of shredded raw mango, about 3 green chilies cut, some salt to taste. We're going to use some sugar to taste. Now I'm also going to give a tadka. So for that I'm going to use about 2 dried red chilies, about half a teaspoon each of mustard seeds, haldi powder, jeera, and some asafoetida or hing. Now I'm going to coarsely grind my chana dal with my green chilies, my shredded mango. I'm also going to be adding salt to taste and some sugar to taste. So I'm grinding it very coarsely. I don't want a very fine paste. So your paste should look like this. So now we're going to give a fodni or a tadka. So here I've heated about 3 tablespoons of oil. You do require a little more than usual oil. Now I'm going to add my half a teaspoon of mustard seeds or mohri or rye. Once they begin to splutter, I'm then going to add my cumin seeds or my jeera. Again half a teaspoon. Next will go my haldi powder or my turmeric powder, again half a teaspoon, followed by asafoetida or hing. Then go in my dried red chilies. Now I'm going to fry all of this well till the chilies are nice and fried on a very low flame. And once my chilies are nice and fried, I'm going to put the gas flame off, mix everything well. And then I'm going to add this tadka or this fodni to my dal mixture. Then give everything a very good mix. See that all of the dal mixture is coated well with the tadka. And then I'm just going to add some chopped up coriander. You can also add some freshly grated coconut. And that is it, friends. Your lovely ambe dal is all ready. Just remember that you need to mix everything very well so that the oil coats all of the dal, because otherwise everything else is raw, as you know. So this tadka will really flavor the dish very well. So that's it, friends. Here is your delicious and simple ambe dal. So let's see how to prepare this lovely Gobi dal. Now here I've taken 1 small gobi or cabbage, washed it well, and I've chopped it up really fine like this. Next I've soaked about 1/4 cup of chana dal in about half a cup of water for about 30 minutes after washing it well. This is 1 light green chili. Now from my spice box, I'm going to use half a teaspoon each of mustard, cumin, asafoetida and turmeric. And we require some salt and a pinch of sugar, that's all. So now I'm going to heat a pan and I'm going to add about 1 tablespoon of oil. Now this is a very simple vegetable and it cooks really quickly and it tastes really nice with the chana dal added to it. So now I've drained the water from the chana dal completely and I'm going to set it aside. You'll see that it kind of swells up a bit. Now once the oil is nice and hot, we're going to add our mustard seeds, half a teaspoon. Once the mustard seeds begin to splutter, we're going to use half a teaspoon of cumin seeds, add half a teaspoon of cumin seeds. We're going to add the light green chili and fry it well. Now the reason for frying the chili really well is that it flavors the oil really nicely. So ensure that you always fry the chili really well till it has this kind of a white coating on it. Now the flame is low to medium. Next, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of asafoetida or hinga, as well as half a teaspoon of turmeric or haldi powder. So there's no ginger, there's no garlic, there's no onion. It's a very simple recipe. So if you have all these ingredients at hand and you have your spice box ready, this is a really quick and easy recipe. And it tastes delicious too. So now I'm going to add this soaked chana dal and I'm going to fry the chana dal really nicely. So take your time with the chana dal and fry it really, really well for at least half a minute or so. Now when you're buying your cabbage, ensure that the cabbage it looks nice and fresh, and always go for the smaller cabbages. Don't go for the very big ones. Go for the smaller cabbages. They have more flavor. And when you're buying them, check the leaves and always soak your cabbage in water to which salt has been added for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then take out the outer leaves. I generally do not use the outer leaves, and then wash the cabbage well, and then cut it up really fine like this without using the center part, the stalk part. Discard the white stalk part. So now I'm going to add the cabbage to our bagar or fortni, and I'm going to mix the cabbage in really well so that it nicely gets coated with all of the ingredients of our bagar. Now you should include these veggies in your daily diet. Try to have a little bit of vegetables also if you're a non-vegetarian. And of course, if you're a vegetarian, then the sky is the limit. There's so many vegetarian dishes that you can make, and they're so healthy too. So I've got an entire playlist of all vegetarian dishes, so you can go and check that out in my playlist section on my homepage. And I got a list of vegetarian dishes, so you can include some vegetable in your diet. So now we're going to cover and cook this for 5 minutes, stirring in between. And whenever you get this water on your lid, just retain the water or add it back to the cabbage and then mix it up well. Keep an eye on the vegetables so that it doesn't stick to the bottom or doesn't get burnt. So keep stirring it in between, but ensure that it cooks really nicely. So at least about 5 minutes, this vegetable cooks really fast. So for 5 minutes, cook it really nicely. So this dal element also adds a lovely, kind of a flavor and texture to this vegetable. So cook it nicely. Keep stirring it in between so that it doesn't stick to the bottom and also that everything gets evenly cooked. Now once our cabbage is cooked, which takes about 5 minutes, not longer than that. Once the cabbage is cooked, we're just going to add our salt to taste. And then I also like to add a pinch of sugar because that really brings out the flavor in the dish. So just a pinch of sugar. And that's all, friends. We don't need any more ingredients for this dish. It's so simple, but yet it's really delicious. And then, of course, mix everything nicely well together. Keep stirring it in between. That way, everything gets evenly cooked. And everything gets nicely mixed together also. So certain vegetables you just need to just cover and cook them, but certain vegetables you need to just stir in between or stir a little longer so that you get it nicely cooked. And then we're just going to cover and cook it for just 1 minute on a low to medium flame. And that's it, friends. Turn off the heat, and your Kobe dal is all ready. So I hope you do give this recipe a try. Do leave your comments in the comment section below, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye. Now I've soaked 100 grams of chana dal for 4 to 5 hours. After that, I'm going to put it into a pressure pan, and I'm going to put just enough water so that it covers the chana dal plus an inch above. We don't want too much of water, and we're going to pressure cook this for exactly 4 whistles. After that, we have to turn our gas flame off after the 4 whistles. That is enough to cook the chana dal to a nice soft consistency. Now we also need 1 cup of freshly grated coconut. We are going to grind this coconut in our mixer till it gives a nice coarse paste. Don't add any water. Now we need an equal amount of sugar, that is 100 grams, and 2 teaspoons of elaichi powder or cardamom powder. I will leave a video below on how to make this cardamom powder. Now our dal is nice and cooked. So just, if you want to just test it, just take a little bit of it and just smash it with your fingers. It has to be very easy to mash and very, very soft. Now we are not going to use this dal water. So you can drain the dal water. You can use it for some other recipe. If you're making some amti or dal, you can use this water. But we are going to use only the dal. Now I've taken this dal after draining the water and made it into a very fine and smooth paste in my mixie pot. So this is the smooth paste that you get. Now I've also lined a tray with butter and put a little bit of butter paper. You can even use a flat tray. Now in a pan, I'm using a non-stick pan. I'm going to first put in all my ground up chana dal. Put the gas flame on a low heat, and then I'm going to add my ground coconut. Give all of this a good mix. Once this is all mixed, we're going to add our sugar. We're using regular white sugar. You don't have to use any icing sugar. It's normal white sugar. And then you just have to stir till everything comes together on a low to medium flame. So just mix everything together. So this entire procedure of mixing everything takes just about 10 to 15 minutes in total. You will see how the consistency changes from a thick mixture to a liquid mixture, and again it thickens back to a very hard mixture like this. So you just have to keep stirring till everything comes together very, very well. Don't cook on a high heat, your mixture will get burnt. Keep it on a very low to medium heat. Now as your mixture begins to thicken, we will add the cardamom powder or the elaichi powder. I'm using only about 2 teaspoons. So we'll add that, the cardamom or the elaichi powder. Again, give that a good mix. And then we're just going to add a pinch of salt. This really elevates the flavor of this chana dos. A little, altogether I've added about half a teaspoon. You can alter that to a little less if you feel. Even a quarter teaspoon will do. And then just keep on stirring, and you will see that everything comes together and your mixture starts Now I'm just adding a few drops of ghee, about 1 teaspoon of ghee. That makes your mixture very easy to work with, and it helps it combine together very well too. So now you can see our mixture is all ready. It has all come together like a ball. That shows that the mixture is ready, and you can turn your gas flame off. Now we're going to just empty this mixture into the tray. You can even just use the back of a steel plate, just apply some ghee and just spread this mixture out. Now the mixture has to cool down completely. You can add a little more of the clarified butter and ghee. It helps to even it out. You have to pack this tightly into the tray. You can even use the back of a steel spoon. That also helps to level it out with a little bit more of ghee. The ghee really helps in smoothing out the top of the dough, because you want a nice even top. And finally I decided I'm going to use my fingers, because that's the best thing. So pack it down lightly, use a little bit of ghee on your fingers, and just smoothen it out very, very evenly. This is such an easy recipe, and it tastes so delicious. And now just take a sharp knife and just very gently draw this line design on top of it. This is how the traditional goan dos looks like. It has these lines. Don't go deep into the dish, just very superficially on top make these lines. And then once the mixture has cooled to room temperature, just cut it up into squares, because that makes it easy to lift the squares once our mixture is refrigerated. You can just, pick up the tray. This is a tray which has a bottom which can be just lifted and picked up, or if you're using a normal tray, once you put it in the refrigerator, it's much easier to cut it into these diamond shapes like this. This is how the traditional dos looks.